Chuck, can you briefly give us a little bit about your background, your experience and training?
Sure. So my background, educationally, I have an undergraduate degree from University of Colorado in psychology, and then I have an MBA from San Diego State with an emphasis in operations research. I started my career with the FAA, actually, in 1982. I was an air traffic controller for 11 years, left the FAA in 1993, worked at MIT Lincoln Laboratory for about 5 years doing some applied research in human factors, and then came back on board in government service with NASA in 1999. And I've been working at NASA since then at a number of different facilities, at the Ames Research Center, which is up in Northern California, and at NASA headquarters, and then for the last 6 years here at Dryden Flight Research Center.
Outstanding. You've got a long career, mostly working with the FAA at first and then transitioning over. So again, how long have you been working at NASA?
So about 13 years directly at NASA.
Okay. And how or why did you transition from the FAA to NASA?
So when I was in the FAA, and I was an air traffic controller at Los Angeles Terminal Radar Approach Control, and so it was an operational environment. Mm-hmm. So then I went to FAA headquarters, and at FAA headquarters, where I was at FAA headquarters for a couple of years before I left the FAA, I really got involved in the research side of the house, looking at, in particular, how air traffic control decision support tools could be implemented, and how air traffic controllers could use automation to help them in their jobs. And I had a real passion for that. So when it came time after the 2 years at headquarters to either go back to an operational facility or to do something different, I chose something different. And so that took me to MIT Lincoln Laboratory, where they were doing a lot of work on the human factors side of how to get air traffic control tools out to being used. And that's what really prompted me to leave the FAA and go work on the research side. And then after about 5 years or so doing that, there was a project that I was really interested in at NASA that was very similar to the work that I was doing. But I felt that I had the ability to influence more as part of the government than an outside entity. So I came back on to NASA to work on a project called Center Tracon Automation System, which was pretty successful and is currently out in all of the FAA facilities in an operational manner, helping controllers do their job in a more expedient way than they would have without automation. So that drove me back into government service, and then from there I went to NASA headquarters, where I spent about 5 years working with all of the projects that NASA does in conjunction with the FAA, sort of building that partnership with the FAA, and then came to Dryden to do a number of different things, of which now I ended up as the manager of this particular project.